Like my shots in the bunker, so are the games of our lives. This is an upset golfer, and these are the games of our lives.
Welcome to the Games of Our Lives podcast. My name is Bill, and with me
is Tony.
We are Bill and Tony. We are two gamers with a combined, 50 years of video games experience?
So, yeah.
Give or take?
Yeah.
And we are going to use this podcast to talk about some of the games that shaped our lives. And, we hope that you can take away some spoofs and goofs and laughs and, gonna have a good old time here.
I think so. I hope so.
So first things first, who are we? Tony, do you want to take this away?
Sure. I am a little clay pot that has been shaped by Japanese culture and video game memorabilia for 29 some odd years. I love Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Mario Kart, to name a few games. And as this podcast goes on, I'm sure you will understand just how much I really do like those things. But something I find myself asking quite frequently is, who are you?
Oh, who am I? Well, I'm the man who kidnapped you for this podcast. My name is Bill. I am a big Nintendo fanboy, but I've played across all the consoles over my time. It's a place of zen for me. I was raised by a video game. My parents were both Game Boys, and they kind of that shaped who I am as a person, because it's easier to let Shigeru Miyamoto raise your children than to do it yourself, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So that's who I am. Some of my favorite games include Banjo-Kazooie, Super Mario RPG, the Pokemon franchise, and Candy Crush Saga, obviously.
Oh, that's what I forgot to say.
Yeah, you really messed that one up there, pal.
Man, your intro was really good.
No, yours was really good, sir.
No, I forgot to mention Nintendo. That's like everything that I love. And I didn't even say it. I just went straight to... I like Nintendo. There, I hope you're still listening. I like Nintendo. A lot. Like, I collect a lot of Nintendo stuff.
Breaking news, Tony likes Nintendo.
I love it.
Speaking of breaking news, let's cover a little bit of the recent video game hubbub. Just a couple of headlines, chit-chat about them real quick, and we'll be moving on. So, Nintendo announced this week a new Switch model, the Switch OLED. It is a model that doesn't really increase the power of anything, but it does make the screen size a little bit bigger. It uses an OLED screen instead of I believe it was an LCD, was the original Switch. Battery life's about the same. The new dock has an Ethernet port, and they will be selling the new dock separately. Any thoughts on this reveal here?
No, I think a lot of people were waiting for something like this. I don't think it's a necessity or anything that they had to do, but to give themselves a little... I'm a huge fan of the Switch. I want its lifetime to go much longer. I want to see new content for it and everything, so I'm happy that they're still releasing stuff like this, because it shows that they're interested in continuing this console's lifespan, and just to make it, better quality in certain aspects too. I think they're trying to bring a lot to the table with this console, and it deserves it. It really is such a great console. But I thought it was the Nintendo Switch OLED this whole time, so I kind of feel dumb for all the people I've been talking to.
Yeah, OLED is actually Spanish for next best thing in the universe.
I've been talking to all Spanish people about it, so that it's crazy that worked out. Wow. Okay.
Right.
Good.
It's pretty great.
Yeah. What do you think about it though?
I think it's really cool that they have the Ethernet adapter built in now, or the LAN adapter built in now, and that you can buy the dock separately. I think if you do not own a Nintendo Switch already, this is probably going to be the best option for you.
Yeah.
I think if you do own a Nintendo Switch and you're interested in getting a second dock, I would maybe invest in this second dock. But if you really are like a stationary TV or like exclusively portable gamer and you already have the Switch, it's probably not for you. But I don't hate Nintendo's move here. Like you said, it does mean that Nintendo is like, hey, we want you, like, we like the Switch. We want you guys to like the Switch. You know, we're still trying to like come up with upgrades to make this a better gaming experience for people playing our product. You know, let's have fun.
Yeah, I think it goes both ways. Nintendo does things that we agree and, heavily agree and heavily disagree with sometimes, but this is one of those where I think the Switch, since its release, has really been, this is everything that you need in, a $300 console, but by all means spend a lot of extra money on different colored accessories and different things, and I think this isn't a necessity. It's $50 more. It's for sure better quality, and all around, even if only certain things are better, nothing about it is worse. The colors are good, but, I don't think that really is a huge, buy factor for me. But aside from that...
I think it's a big thing that it's being launched alongside Metroid Dread. I think that's huge. They have the same release date, which is, I want to say October 8th.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is super smart by them, because new games sell new consoles, and people have been hyping up Metroid for a long time.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. They have been hyping it up for a very long time. Metroid isn't one of my favorite games, so I feel like they could have... I don't know what their timing is, in terms of... I feel like Breath of the Wild 2 is a game that's worth releasing a console with, but again, it's
right.
Not a new console's release, it's just a modified version, revamped console, so I understand. I respect it. I'm not going to get it, but it's a nice, classy looking system. That black and white is sure
Plus
tasteful.
That light up Switch logo?
Ooh, it lights up?
Oh yeah, the dock has a nice little light up Switch logo right on the front.
Oh, I didn't know it lit up. Oh man. All right, I'll
worth
buy
the
it.
$50.
All right, yeah, I'll buy it. Just take it.
Sold.
Wow. All right. I like colors. I like lights and colors.
Lights and colors are both pretty good.
Yeah. Together, a colorful light.
Ooh.
Or a lit up color. I mean, now that's just. I'm sold. I'm sold.
So another Nintendo news item that's creeped up this week is the upcoming launch for Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. This game is a remake of the 2011 Wii classic, where you play as Link, in which I believe is first in the timeline iteration of Link, and it kind of like talks about like the whole start of the situation that's going on in the land of Hyrule. But it's being re-released on the Switch with some updated controls, and some people have found some quality of life upgrades that the game has like desperately needed, and I think it'd be kind of cool to talk about them. Did you play Skyward Sword for the Wii?
No, I did not.
Okay, so basically it's all good. A lot of people didn't, because the motion controls kind of threw people off.
Yeah.
So a couple of the upgrades for this game are pretty exciting, because one, it's not requiring the controls for like, you don't need motion controls to play this game now. So that's right there alone is a huge thing. Also, for whatever reason, it was a game that came out in 2011 that didn't have an autosave feature. You had to go talk to a statue to save the game, and now the game autosaves, which I think is a huge plus.
Oh, yeah.
And on top of that, they've tweaked some of the visuals, and they cut out a lot of the game's version of Navi. Is this spirit in your sword named Fi, or Fi, and she would pop up like every 3 seconds, going like, "Hey Link, this is what we're doing right now. Hey Link, congratulations, you found a Deku nut. Hey Link, did you know birds can fly? Hey Link, hey Link." And it was like an unskippable pop-up that happened all the time, and they are fixing that by making her like a optional button you can press in the bottom corner. So it's going to make for a much more streamlined experience, and I think if you missed out or didn't want to play the game, that this is going to be a solid remake to really get people to enjoy this portion of the franchise.
It looks good. It looks pretty good. You nailed it with that, and you're definitely a bigger Zelda fan than I am. Considering I'm not really a Zelda fan at all, I appreciate how much of a masterpiece most of the games are, and I feel like this one is no exception. And the fact that they took away mandatory motion controls is a big plus, and I'm sure all the adjustments that they make are gonna be very good for a game like that. I mean, I know how passionate Zelda fans are, and I know. See, I'm a little on the fence with a game like this because I do find myself getting tired of seeing remakes, but
I don't even. This isn't even a remake. This is actually just like a port with updated things. But I do get what you're saying. Like, Nintendo is very fond of its ability to re-release games for future consoles, and kind of like ride that.
Yeah, they just take they know their fans and their fan bases. You know what I mean? They know they could. Zelda game, been 10 years. Let's make it again a little bit better. Oh, Diamond and Pearl. Let's make it again a little bit better. It's just like they're probably fine. A Wii, you could go buy a Wii for like $40. It's like not, but I'm sure it'll be great.
You know what I'd do though? You know what I would do? I'd give Nintendo a little bit of a wag of the finger.
Ooh.
on their practices of just re-releasing games as consistently as they do.
I would agree with that. I'd give it a little wag.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to take us into a little segment we like to call Tip of the Hat, Wag of the Finger.
I was going to come in and scream it, but I was like, I don't know, are we going to say it at the same time? I was just, it was all up in the air right there, folks. That's fair. Crazy live moment you just witnessed.
That was wild. But through the magic of editing, no one will ever know.
Aww.
It's beautiful. Or they can. Who knows? Do you want to yell Tip of the Hat, Wag of the Finger?
No. I'm a little nervous now.
Don't be shy.
No, maybe next time.
So this is Tip of the Hat, Wag of the Finger, where we talk about a couple of good things, a couple of bad things that happen in the gaming world that deserve a little tip of the hat, or perhaps even a wag of the finger. And I guess we'll start with that wag of the finger. Nintendo porting old games for close to full price. It happens a lot. They're lucky they can get away with it most of the time because the games that they do tend to port tend to be certified bangers. So, and a lot of them do have solid quality of life updates. So, tip of the hat for making them at least a little better.
Very, very minor tip of my hat for that.
Yeah, no, it's subtle. You need a microscope to see that one.
Basically, just looking down while wearing a hat, and the hat moves from gravity a little bit.
You're on thin ice, is what we're saying, Nintendo.
Yeah,
watch out.
Yeah, not, yeah, nothing to write home about.
But you know who's gonna get a big wag of the finger?
Tell me.
An even bigger wag of the finger than Nintendo is Nintendo's fans.
Ooh, first episode.
No offense. I know we're calling out the people right now.
Get them. Let them know what we're about. We're not light-hearted pussyfooting around here. This is what you're getting. All right.
Listen, Nintendo doesn't owe us anything, and yet they continue to provide mother's milk for us, right? What I'm specifically referring to is this OLED announcement where people, at least on Twitter and like Reddit and whatnot, people like lost their minds. They were like, this is Nintendo giving us a big middle finger. We deserve a 4K console with, a billion gigs of RAM and updated everything, and all of these rumors did not pan out. Guys, chill. Literally, Nintendo never announced anything.
Yeah.
They never made a promise.
Yeah.
It's okay.
This is a courtesy.
The sun rises and sets another day. We'll be fine.
Yeah. What he said. The sun.
You got any tips or wags, Tony?
Nah, I think you nailed it with that for the most part, or for the entirety of it. I'm gonna take it back a little bit. You reminded me while you were saying all that. Wag of the finger, a lot of finger wagging, not a lot of hat tipping.
We're starting out on a negative note here today.
Yeah, real pessimistic start. But yeah, I'll continue to wag the old finger at Nintendo for the Nintendo Switch Lite. Even though this is old news, I respect the OLED model. I think that's fine. I'm not excited about it, but it's fine. But the Switch Lite, that is just horrendous. That is literally, I'm pretty sure you and I have talked about this when they announced it years ago, and I'm not going to remember my argument fully, but it was basically the Switch has dock mode, portable mode, and tabletop mode, and that's $300, but the Switch Lite is just on the go mode basically, but for some reason you're still paying $200, but you're only getting one of the features, and I don't know. It's already portable. The Switch is already portable. Why'd you make another one? I don't know.
I think it's because of that $200 price point increases accessibility. Kind of like the same thing they did with the Nintendo 2DS when the 3DS came out, because I remember when the 2DS came out, and I believe I laughed at the situation. I was like, who the heck is going to buy this stupid, clunky thing? And the 2DS killed. It straight up just killed in sales because it was $100 cheaper.
Yeah. Well, the 3DS was basically just the newest, DS or Game Boy, whatever you want to call it in that Game Boy family. But the 3D mode was just not good at all. So
yeah, that mode was set to off 100% of the time.
Oh yeah, so I see what you're saying. It is for the amount that you're paying, but you probably should be paying that for the console anyway. I guess $300 for a Switch. Not trying to compare it to, Sony or Microsoft or anything, but $500 for their consoles, that's $70 for a new game. Now we're talking a good amount of money, as opposed to $300 is that's fine. If the Switch came out and it was $200, I wouldn't even believe it, But for the extra $100, it's I don't know, you're getting a lot more.
The way I look at it, you can buy a Switch dock right now for, I want to say $80. So if you remove the Switch dock from the price point of the Nintendo Switch itself, that basically gets you a Switch Lite. More or less. I don't know.
You lost me.
So the Switch Lite is basically a Switch without the dock.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The dock costs $80 separately on its own.
Yeah.
So if you take away the Switch dock and that price point from the Nintendo Switch, boom, you get a Switch Lite price point. So I don't know, it makes sense. And a lot of people do play handheld, like a surprising number of people. As a person who doesn't, like as a almost strictly TV like player, I can't do it. It just doesn't work for me. I find myself in situations where I'm playing portably more than 30 minutes on an airplane or something like that.
Yeah.
But as like casual use, I do not play in handheld mode at all.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying though. I think I'm changing my mind the more you're speaking, but at the same time there's a part of me that's like, just stick to your darn guns, Nintendo. You're making a console that's supposed to do everything, and then you just go, all right, we'll give you the workaround, and we'll cut you some money and let you do none. We'll give you more options to, I don't know. They're supposed to put it all together. Yeah, you could play on TV, you could play it on the go. Here you go. And they're just like, all right. Well, if you just want to play on the go, you could do that too. It's just like, I don't know. I don't know if they're. It's not good or bad. Yeah, they're making money. Yeah, they're being more accessible. I guess it's just fine. I will unwag my finger. We just talked for 5 minutes about that, and now I feel like a jerk with a dumb point. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tony. I am one half of this podcast. Thanks for tuning in so far. Hope you're enjoying it.
Sorry for listening.
Yeah. Par for the course.
So why don't we finish this out with a tip of the hat right here, just to end on a good note. And this is going back to E3 because we really haven't talked much about E3. But a tip of the hat, we've been dogging on Nintendo a lot here. Let's give them a tip of the hat for announcing a new WarioWare game.
Boom.
WarioWare, get it together. It sounds like Nintendo got it together.
Boom.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of the WarioWare series. Tony, are you a WarioWare fan?
Oh yeah. I think they always do a really good job. I think that entire little Wario universe is just quirky and well done.
Underutilized.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah, they did a good job with that, as they are very good at doing stuff like that and just making a new universe, and all those games are always great. I've played, I think, the DS version Touched. I've put a lot of hours into that game. And a little fun fact for you, and this is gotta make it negative somehow, but it's very interesting that Nintendo would opt to do this. If you ever get, I forget what it is, it's like a little record player item in that game. If you get that, there are 3 songs you could play. One of them is Ashley's theme. She's like the gothic demon girl. If you play her song and you use the stylus on the record and you play it in reverse really fast, it'll say something along the lines of, in her voice, she'll be like, I've sent kids to hell or something like that. I've done it myself, and there are YouTube videos of it if anyone knows how to go on YouTube.
Wow. That's I didn't even know that, and I loved that game. WarioWare Touched was one of my favorites.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. Oh my god, I swear, I put creases in my DS screen from that game because you had to spin the stylus so hard in so many of those mini games.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
What a time. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. Yeah, real excited for the Switch one. And another point for all you collectors out there, the Game & Wario for Wii U, for some reason, is pretty rare. And even all GameCube stuff is going up. I have a feeling that this Switch version should be a game you should cop sooner rather than later, just because the trend of the Wario franchise games, or the WarioWare franchise, I should say, seems to, you're gonna go to your game stores, you're gonna see it everywhere, but in a couple of years, I think it's gonna go up, and that's my little prediction for you.
Ooh, insider information.
There you go. There you go.
So, now that we've tipped our hats, we've wagged our fingers, let's get to the main course here. And I'm talking 18 holes kind of course.
Ooh.
We're talking Mario Golf, which a new game from Nintendo just came out, Nintendo and Camelot. We have Mario Golf Super Rush, which was released on June 25th. Both Tony and I have played many, many rounds of just Mario Golf in general, but we've both gotten our teeth into Mario Golf Super Rush, and I think we should talk about it a little bit. So what are your thoughts on the new mode, Super Rush, where you're racing around?
I like it and I don't like it, and I'm never gonna play it. Let me put it that way. I am a classic golfer. I love golf even outside of Mario Land. I just think golf is a great game. And when I play golf, and I've been playing Mario Golf since 64, in Game Boy Color, and I think just a classic game of golf with no special abilities, no anything, just you get your power shot, very well, implemented into the game. Very, very well done standard golf game. I think they made those games pretty perfectly, and I think this game follows suit with that. I think it is made extremely well, but if they don't put a Super Rush kind of mode in a game like this, they're going to lose a ton of potential buyers. I mean, there are no little kids excited to play golf, really. I think it's such a good move on their part to say, hey, we make really good golf games, and we consistently have, but we need more people to get into golf. How do we do it? How do we make it appealing to younger fans and people that don't like golf? All right, we'll get them.
Like Tiger, stop getting in trouble, my guy.
Exactly. I mean,
so
he can't help himself. He has a problem.
I agree with you.
He has a problem.
I think the Super Rush mode is kind of a double-edged sword. I think it's a really nice innovation. I think that their head was in the right place when they were making this. I think with this Super Rush mode came a limitation that I don't know that they necessarily anticipated, but it's felt by people who played the older games. And I think that's just the ability to have more varied courses, because every course in this game is built with the state of mind that you can openly run around the course.
Yeah.
And kind of some of the beauty of the older games, and I'm thinking like Toadstool Tour specifically here, there were a lot of levels that had a lot of like small landings that you could hit the ball to, and as a traditional golf video game, you would just kind of teleport to where your ball is. And you were able to kind of like have more goofy, like Nintendo-y courses. Like I'm thinking of DK's like Congo Canopy level, which is all par 3 courses, but there's tons of like branches and just like wild layouts for that whole level that just could not exist in Super Rush. And I feel like they kind of limited themselves inadvertently because of that mode. And I think you lose a little bit of the charm, as these golf courses are pretty basic overall, I would say.
Yeah, I noticed that.
The controls, like you said, I think the controls in this game, I don't think there's a Mario Golf game with bad controls. But the controls in this game, you can fine-tune a lot of things, and I think that they do an excellent job making those controls very accessible, but also, very challenging to, like, it's easy to learn, tough to master, I would say.
Well said.
But I got my first, albatross on a par 5 the other day.
Did you?
I did kind of, I lost my mind. Because I was just, ripping it with, listen, my main is Bowser. I liked King Babam for a little bit, but, like, I feel like Bowser controls just a little bit better. And, that albatross on a par 5 in the sand dunes course just really made me feel like a god.
Yeah, that's like the equivalent of a hole-in-one. I mean, you can't get a hole-in-one on a par 5 unless you're, 10 Arnold Schwarzeneggers or so. I don't know. You really got to hit the ball far. Maybe like 3 Arnold Schwarzeneggers.
Maybe 3. Yeah, 10's a little excessive, but
10. Yeah, 10.
Maybe like maybe 2 if it's Arnold in Terminator.
All right, yeah. Well, yeah, he can. I wonder how far he could hit the ball.
Like Terminator.
Either one of them.
I feel like Terminator can probably drive it a clean 400.
That's far. That's far.
I think Terminator could do it. Arnold Schwarzenegger probably has like a 250.
250? That's it?
280? I don't know. You said 400 was far.
400's far, but I mean, I feel like a lot of professional golfers could hit it over 300, so
Listen,
Terminator hit
Bowser's drive right now is only 218 in the game, or 228 in the game.
That's it?
Yeah, I was just kind of basing it on that.
No, in N64, the strongest character was Metal Mario, and he could hit 285. His power was 313.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so there. Yeah, I think Bowser hit over
wild.
300 too. Yeah, 300's not so uncommon. So when you said 400, I was like, hey, you could probably smash it 400 yards. That'd be pretty wild.
I could see Terminator getting a hole-in-one on a par 4, very Happy Gilmore-esque.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Even a par 5.
Yeah, no, definitely doable, probably.
I actually I bought the game when it came out. I think it came out on a Friday, and then on Saturday morning I actually got a hole-in-one. I couldn't believe it, and I was like, I scored 20 under. It's on my Instagram, actually. I took pictures because I was like doing pretty bad consistently, going online, playing kids, just like, I should beat everyone, no problem. I played Mario Golf my whole life. I'm just losing and messing up shots and clearly not playing well. And then I was like, oh, I get it now. And all of a sudden I got the hole-in-one, and I just like rode that an entire bogeyless course, bogeyless 18, a couple pars, 2 or 3, but yeah, 20 under. How's that? Put that in your in your coffee.
I think my best score ever is a minus 18, and that was on like the baby's first golf course level.
I think that's where I got it on. Yeah.
I wonder if you could turn off weather hazards though, because those, when it rains, I get kind of bummed out.
Yeah, those are. Yeah, that is.
Really throws a damper on your day.
Huh?
So with Mario Golf Super Rush, it's continuing a legacy of a handful of Mario Golf games in the franchise, and I kind of wanted to just talk about like the different games in the franchise and like the little history of what got Mario Golf where it is today.
Sure, that sounds great.
So, I mean, it all started with the granddaddy of them all, Mario Golf for the Nintendo 64. This is the first official Mario Golf game.
Some people would argue that Golf for NES was the first, but I don't count that. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Mario Golf is the first Mario Golf game.
Agreed. Thank you. I didn't know if you were going to say that or not. I'm happy you did.
No, and it had one of the best modes that literally has never been brought back since, and it's kind of like a weird, like, why you do that, Camelot? So Mario Golf, developed by Camelot, has a whole bunch of Mario characters hitting the links. No Link though, and It's the only game with a mini golf mode.
Mini golf.
Called putt mode. Where all you're doing is putting, and it's probably the most fun. Like, I play Mario Golf for the 64 just for the putt mode.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. I actually don't. I think the controls have gotten better as the series has progressed. So sometimes the controls get me a little frustrated because accuracy is a little tricky in that game. And Mario Golf Toadstool Tour has ruined my ability and want for micromanaging of shots down to like the centimeter.
Yeah, that is why I like Mario Golf 64 so much. When I played Toadstool Tour, I actually liked it a little less. I didn't play it too much because they changed the very, very specific way that you have to, very precise rather, just a very precise way of hitting the ball and knowing how much power and running quick numbers and equations in your head. And it's basically golf. I mean, you have to figure out what you want to do, and you also have to execute. And I think
right.
And I love that. I love messing up the math sometimes and being like, oh yeah, I should have hit it a little shorter, and the wind is a variable, and the highs and the lows and the slopes of the green. I think for an N64 game, that is just, for any game, that is an absolute masterpiece. I am not exaggerating. Absolutely. I've probably put like thousands, probably 4 digits at this point in my life. I've played it with my roommate even like,
wow.
Before this game came out, like a month ago. Like, we played it like every day. We love that game. It's just one of those perfect games. No weird special stuff. You got your 6 power shots. Like, if you hit it perfectly, you get to use it again. Just no weird Mario.
It's clean and simple Mario Golf fun.
Exactly.
It really is Mario Golf in its purest form. And I think what the handheld games did was something really unique and special as well. Because they released Mario Golf in the summer of '99, and then a couple months later they dropped Mario Golf for the Game Boy Color, which introduced the RPG element to Mario Golf, where you could have a single-player campaign and you would essentially like level up your character through like this story, and you would be able to like progress through like playing rounds of golf, playing mini games, doing different things. And at the time it blew my little mind.
Oh yeah.
I probably have like 200 to 300 hours in Mario Golf for the Game Boy Color. Like that, like I was that much just in the zone with that game.
Man,
did you ever play the Game Boy Color one?
I sure did, yeah. And just thinking about it, it's so hard because, games come out now and my patience is so thin for them, if there's something I don't like. And back in the day, we got something, we played it, and now it's, if it was good or bad, we kind of played it unless it was like really bad, in which case I still played games when I was younger. But
right,
man, that game was just another just masterpiece. To port that and create, like you said, the RPG part of it, just running around that story mode, like create a character and just getting him so powerful, and also just being in that game and having it be so consistent with the way that they made the N64 version, with making the putting greens and the shots as close as you can to that, and not changing too much. I think that game is just such a gem, and I miss it. I still have it, but I haven't played it in so long. But I definitely, like, even though I loved it as a kid, that is a game that needs to be appreciated more. And the fact that they also intertwine them with the being able to put that into the controller pack, put the actual game into the controller pack and put it into your controller, and then take your characters from the Game Boy Color game and play them on the N64 and have characters that could hit the ball insanely far. That is just...
It is one of 2 games that actually uses the transfer pack correctly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Between Pokemon Stadium and Mario Golf, uh, blew my dang little mind as a kid.
Yeah.
And just, yeah, being able to see like yourself, because you have your own little create a character from Mario Golf, one of like 4 stand-in vague humans, and seeing them just dunk on Mario. God, it felt good.
Yeah.
Good.
Wow. What a good couple games. That is a huge tip of the hat. For all the bashing of Nintendo, it's all worth it. Excuse me.
Absolutely.
Do whatever you want at this point because you made some killer games, man. You killed it with those.
And I mean, like, the music is incredible. Like, everything is just like iconic from those games. And
yeah.
Then they moved on to Mario Golf Toadstool Tour, which, in my opinion, is the magnum opus of the franchise.
Wow.
I think it's the best game in the franchise. I think it comes down to what I was talking about with Super Rush, how there's kind of a little bit of a lack of like course variety. I think the uniqueness to each golf course and how like they do have that kind of Nintendo-y touch to the different courses, I think really sells it for me as something more than just a golf game. I think the fact that these golf courses really feel like they come to life really puts an impact on the game, and the controls are a little more tightened. The UI is a little more user-friendly, because growing up, I couldn't tell what direction the Boo was facing sometimes on the Nintendo 64. This is my favorite Mario Golf game, but I mean, Mario Golf, Toadstool Tour, and Mario Golf for the 64, it's a 1A, 1B scenario for me.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. I have very little input as I didn't play. I played it a little bit. I went right back to 64, and that's where I stayed my entire life, basically.
Right. And then there was Mario Golf Advanced Tour, which I actually did not play.
Yeah, me either.
I don't know what it was, but it was probably just money was tighter as a younger person. In 2004, I didn't know what I was doing. So Mario Golf Advanced Tour in 2004 came out. I've heard that people who love this game absolutely adore it. I've heard it's nothing but an upgrade from Mario Golf for the Game Boy Color.
Wow.
Yeah, so honestly, it's a game worth playing. And then Mario Golf World Tour for the 3DS came out. Had some like gyroscope features. Had some Miis as unlockable characters. But people generally loved it. It was pretty well received. The controls are really tight from what I've been able to see.
It's great. It's a great game. That one I've played, and it really is just another great adaptation to that series. It's a wonderful game.
And one thing that I'm just kind of like looking through these titles, and I feel like this is one of those like franchises that each game actually is worth revisiting because they each bring something so unique to the table within themselves. I think they're all like it's not like certain titles where it's like this new game that came out is like the definitive version, so it's literally not worth playing older versions of this game. With Mario Golf, I feel like you could just go back to any of them. The gameplay holds up. It's literally golf. So, it's not extremely complicated per se, but like it's a consistent enough game where you can just go back and play any of them.
Yeah, you really can. The playability and just such a what Nintendo does so well is really making you feel like you're in a different universe. I think with so many different games that they make, and even these like sub universes, you're not just in another Mario land, you're in a golf land, and it just happens to be like not overly Mario stuff besides the characters and some of the background stuff, but you really do get it's what I call the flow state, when you're just, passionate about something and enjoying something so much that you're not really concerned with what else is happening around you. And I think that's...
You're just in the zone.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why so many people love video games so much, and this is no exception to that. You really can get lost in these games, and they just... Great series. 10 out of 10. No doubt in my mind.
Honestly, yeah, I think I'd have to agree with you. This may be one of Nintendo's strongest franchises, and they may not even know it. Just consistently good. Like, kudos to Camelot.
Yeah, right?
Like, Camelot, let's make another Golden Sun game. But good job on Mario Golf, guys. Getting some clappies in there for you, because dang, it's good stuff.
If they don't do anything else, they don't have to. They're good with me. They know how to make a damn good golf game.
And then that leads up to Mario Golf Super Rush, which came out this year. 6 years after the... Actually, this is 18 years since the last home console Mario Golf game.
Wow.
Yeah, Toadstool Tour was 2003 for the GameCube, and then 2021 Super Rush. Not to make you feel like you're 100 years old, but we're elder gamers at this point, I would say. Mario Golf Super Rush, I mean, they keep it tight. The music is really fun. I think the biggest knock on Mario Golf is, in this particular iteration, is the single player campaign. I felt like the campaign ended maybe 2 hours too early. It felt like it was building up to something big, and then all of a sudden it's over, and you're like, oh, huh. That's a little weird. And I do feel like some people are put off by the fact that they're doing the same thing that I think they're going to be doing with Mario Tennis Aces, whereas every once in a while they're just going to be dripping in new characters. Which, I mean, you look at it how you want. It's free DLC technically, but it does require you to play during that window to get that character, I believe.
That's interesting. It's smart strategy by them.
I mean, it keeps you coming back to the game, I suppose.
Exactly.
But the game itself is fun. The battle golf is pretty fun, where everybody's vying for the same holes. Not my favorite mode. My favorite mode, like Tony's here, is just classic 18 holes. Just get the lowest possible score. Just like a pure skill challenge. But I mean, it does offer you different modes for different, things. So that's kind of cool too.
A lot of different golfers out there, different kinds of golfers, and some want to run around the course and some don't. Some just want to go right to their ball, and can't blame them for giving options. That's why they made the Nintendo Switch Lite for the gamer that wants to save a couple bucks and also still enjoy the great games that come out for Nintendo Switch. There, I'm absolved of anything I said earlier. Please leave me alone about it. I feel bad still.
So yeah, if you want to send Tony death threats and hate mail, his address is 555 5th Street in Fifth Town, USA. Sorry for doxing you in the first episode.
I literally just moved here. Why would you say that?
I'm not going to apologize because I'm going to be the one sending you most of the hate mail. So, as you guys can tell, we've been playing some Mario Golf Super Rush. Are there any other games that you've been playing that you want to share with the class?
Yeah, a little throwback. I've been playing very specifically in Super Monkey Ball 2 for the GameCube. I've been playing billiards and bowling and Monkey Target. I think those are all...
Ooh, Monkey Target, oh my god.
Yeah, right? See, I love when... We don't have to go on a big tangent about this, but I could easily. But I love when there's a game like Pokemon Stadium, like Monkey Ball, where there's just like Sonic Adventure 2, Battle for GameCube, where there's just like a whole amazing game, but then there's just also side things that you could do that are just so amazing. Like all these mini games you could just buy that game. Monkey Target, if they put more levels into that.
I swear to God, growing up, I put more time into Monkey Target than I did into Super Monkey Ball.
Right? That is just a game by itself. Like billiards, 99 cents on the App Store, go buy. You know what I mean? Like that's just
right.
It's so well done and just not overly done. Like, those games are legit, and I've been playing them a lot and having a lot of fun, getting some of my GameCube stuff, breaking it out again. How about you? What have you been up to?
So I just finished playing a classic for the Sony PlayStation 1. It's a little ditty. You may not have heard of it. Kind of an underground title called Final Fantasy VII, where you play as some people and you save the world. It's got some people that you may not have heard of, named like Cloud Strife and Sephiroth. They're kind of characters in the game. But this is my first time ever playing the game. I did not grow up with a PlayStation, so I didn't have that experience as a kid. And I can say that Final Fantasy VII, I get why people like it. It's a fun game. The port is really great because I think the biggest knock against it is the random encounters and the speed of the game, which you can adjust in the ports. You can make it run at like 3x speed. You can get rid of random encounters. It's beautiful. You can really streamline your experience, and I think that is like the definitive way to do it. I cannot wait to play the Final Fantasy VII remake on the PlayStation when I get to it.
That doesn't sound like Nintendo.
I think there's actually a port of 7 on the Switch.
All right, we'll take it.
But if I've been playing anything else, I've also been playing It Takes Two, title from EA that came out earlier this year, where you play as a couple who's trying so hard to get divorced, but their daughter and her magical book keep forcing you to reconcile instead of just accepting your fate. And it's a real interesting game because the game itself is a 2-player co-op game, and each player controls one of the married couple, the husband or the wife. And the gameplay is actually like a lot of fun. It's always changing, so there's always like new things going on. I will say, like, the one knock that I have on it is that the dialogue is definitely like unnecessarily ridiculous sometimes. Like they'll be like, "Yeah, good job," and then we'll hit a cutscene and it'll be like, I want you dead. I hate you. Men are the worst. Women are terrible. Like the husband and wife like are so inconsistent. You get like emotional whiplash from them. It's kind of part of the fun, I guess, because you're like, whoa, what? Where did this come from?
As you say all that, and I was gonna say this when you were like halfway through with that, but then you also just mentioned Whiplash and saying that It Takes Two, and then it's a 2-player game. You ever play Quiplash?
Oh, I love Quiplash. Are you kidding me?
Dude, I played that for the first time. I was like,
those Jackbox games,
Ooh, man,
boy.
those are that one specifically. Oh man, that is just like crazy good.
Oh,
Crazy
it's so
good.
fun.
Crazy fun. You got a bunch of people that don't know what to do. Everyone's sitting there looking at their phones anyway. Dude, 10 out of 10. That's
Gonna
a
peel
fun
the curtain
game.
back a little bit. Literally, probably gonna play Quiplash tonight at my friend's place.
Ah, really? Give me the room code. I'll play from over here.
Shoot you a text later.
We're
They'll be like,
laughing, but
"Who's
I'm not
Tony? What are they doing here?"
kidding. I snuck in.
That's too good. That's too good. Any other games you've been playing, or?
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, Pokemon Go, but that's a lifestyle at this point. So I'm not gonna bring that up every time, unless maybe I will. We'll see.
Fair enough. So we are at the point in the show where I believe we'd like to give some recommendations. I think weekly we're going to give a recommendation of some piece of media that we think that y'all should check out, be it a game, a movie, TV show. Tony, what do you got for the people?
Oh, What do I have? Anything? Could be anything?
Literally could be anything. You know what? I'll start.
Could you?
Just a real quick one. This is a recommendation for when you're stressed out. Draw yourself a nice hot bath. Play some music, relax. You know what? You deserve to pamper yourself. And I promise you, you will not sleep better that night. You will just be in a total place of comfort. All right, Tony, what do you got?
I can't follow that up. I can't possibly follow that up. I'm sitting here racking my brain, and you say take a nice bath. I have nothing. I'm a little baby in your hands. How about get a job? How about that?
I mean, if you want to be able to afford all the video games that we're talking about, then that might be a good start.
Now, here's my real recommendation. Don't get a job. Do whatever makes you happy, and if you could afford it and live that way, as long as it doesn't involve hurting beings or Mother Earth or anything like that, then do what you like, and if you could afford it and live happy, then do that, and maybe next week, if you do all that, if and only if you do all that, I will give you a real recommendation.
All right, my recommendation then. I think it's a good recommendation to respect people. My recommendation for media consumption is a movie that I watched and cried to recently. Is called Pokemon: The First Movie, also known as Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back. It is one of my favorites all time. Follows the story of Ash and company from the anime. And when I tell you, if you don't cry multiple times during this movie, you might actually not have a soul. Because Pikachu's voice actor deserves, 10 Oscars for this one performance?
You cried? You're a little baby.
Hey, man. That's just... Listen... Just because I walk around with a rattle and a little pacifier doesn't make me a baby. All right?
Baby.
Why are you so mean?
Because I have my own insecurities that I feel the need to cover up by making fun of other people's.
Oh, nice. Baby. Those are pretty good.
Yeah. Aww. Yeah.
So that's this big baby's recommendation. You got a movie or TV show you think the people should watch?
No Country for Old Men. That's my favorite movie. That is a crazy movie.
That's a pretty crazy movie.
Yeah, you've seen that movie?
That's a wild movie. Yeah.
That's the first movie that comes to my head just because there are other movies I'm watching. I haven't watched that one in a while, but I'm just going to, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you probably my top 3 favorite movies, and that's one of them. That's definitely one of them, and that's in the top 3. So I'm not going to tell you the other 2
That's a classic.
Right now. Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Love that movie.
Well, I think that we've reached the end of our first episode. So I want to thank everybody who's listening.
Are you going to cry about it?
I might cry about it. Tears of joy, though.
Yeah,
because I want to thank anybody who listened to this episode. We do plan on recording and uploading a new episode weekly is the plan for now. And we will keep you posted. If you want to keep track of the show, you can follow our Twitter at Games of Our Pod. If you want to follow us individually, my name on Twitter is Bill the Fajita, and I also stream on Twitch. And you can find Tony. Tony, where can we find you?
at 5555 5th Street on no, I'm just kidding. At pretty much I don't have Twitter or Twitch yet. I'm working on streaming on Twitch, but for right now, Instagram and YouTube at the Poker Rapper. Pokemon rapping. There you go. Poker Rapper.
Awesome.
Hit me up. Show us some podcast love. Be like, yo, I heard you and that other cool guy on that podcast. I really liked it. And I'll be like, yo, thanks so much. Or something like that. I'm sure it'll probably go something like that, yeah.
Something like that. And so our plan is for each week to talk about a different game franchise and kind of just talk about whatever's happening in gaming that week. And do we have a little tease for next week?
Yeah, we could. I don't know. Should we? I don't know. Should we?
I don't know. I don't know. What is?
Let's just say it'll be a smashing episode. We'll leave it at that.
Ooh. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. My name is Bill, and this is Tony.
Hi. I mean, bye.
And
we gotta start over. We gotta start over from the beginning. No, seriously, thank you all so much for listening. That is Bill. I am Tony, and we'll catch you next week.
We'll catch you next week. Take care.
Peace.